Welcome back for another episode of Firestorm at Home. That's right, it's Coach Freelove. I taking you through strength, episode 4. It's a very fun Friday. I'm very excited to get started today. One of the things that you guys will see that I have is a backpack, and if you listen closely, not to my cat, but to here, you can hear that I've got some weight in there. I've actually got in my little backpack a jacket, but more importantly, I've got quite a few canned goods in there. I've added them in there until I've had a light to moderate weight. I'd say that I'm holding on to maybe 15 pounds inside of here, something like that. So, nothing too crazy. It's an important part of today's workout. The other thing that you're going to want is a broomstick. I have this fun, thin, little hollow aluminum one. But if you guys do have a broomstick that is wooden, that's probably going to be better. You're going to want to be able to remove the end of that. So again, a lightly weighted bag. We got about 15 pounds of canned goods in there, and a jacket actually wrapped up around it to keep it softly padded, so that while I'm lifting it, if it bumps into me at any point today, it's not going to feel like that. Instead, it'll be a little bit more cushy. So the other thing is your broomstick. You guys are going to need those 2 items for today's at-home workout for strength. It is an upper body day. That's right. Our very first episode, we did upper body, and then we went core, and then we went legs. And that's right, we're back to the top. So I'm very excited to do a little bit of a weighted workout today. Keep that weighted bag in case you are doing any other classes like parkour or future strength classes, because we are going to be using that moving forward. If you have actual weights or a weighted vest, that is another great alternative that you can use for some of the workouts for the upper body we're going to do today. This just kind of helps us. So, I've got to clear my space and get ready for my mobility and warm-ups. One last thing that you guys are probably going to want, or that you guys are going to need, is something to elevate yourself ever so slightly, like a couch or a chair. So I'm going to keep my chair close by. I've got my weighted bag, I've got my broomstick, I've got my space clear, and I'm ready to get started with my mobility and my warm-up. So nice strong stance. Didn't mean spooky bud, sorry. And chin is up, good posture. We're going to take a few deep breaths in and out. We're going to just try for a 3-second inhale on each one and a 3-second exhale, nothing too crazy. In and out. Just like that. If you guys can make your inhale 3 seconds and your exhale 4 or 5 seconds, great. Use that deep breathing method whenever I say to take a nice deep breath moving forward for today's workout. We're going to roll our neck out while still deep breathing, chin to chest. After it goes from shoulder to shoulder, goes to chest in the middle. Very nice stuff, good. Bring the head back to a forward neutral position. Go ahead and shrug those shoulders up as high as you can. We're going to make a few forward circles and backward circles with our shoulders, hitting that high point. So, big shrug, going forward. Still breathing, always breathing. And let's go backward now. So again, hit that high point of the shrug where almost you're brushing your ears with your shoulders if you can. Really focused on that breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. That nice, long, controlled manner. Nice. Neck and shoulders should be nice and warm. We're going to move into our elbows and our wrists. So arms out into a nice strong T pose. We're going to lift our hands from the extended position to cactus position and then in towards our shoulders, down and around, completing our lateral arm circle. If you guys have followed us for some of our previous episodes of parkour or strength, then you guys will have seen this elbow mobility before. It's just a good little bit, and you guys can always self-regulate. Check your elbows, make sure that they're in place. All right, cool. I have a reflective surface, got a couple of mirrors in my stove and my microwave here, so I can kind of see if my elbows are dropping down and if I'm breaking that posture. Good, let's go ahead and make sure we're strong and go the opposite direction. So we went cactus arms towards head, and we're gonna go cactus arms towards outer walls and around. Nice. Oh, 2 cracks, 1 on each elbow. Very good, nice and mobilized. Nice, good. And not just focusing on our posture, but focusing on our breathing while we do so. Multitasking, like true champions. Now, go ahead and interlock all your fingers. Really lace those fingers tightly together. Squeeze your palms pressed. I like to imagine I've broken an egg, and I'm not going to let it drip outside of my hands. So break the egg, don't let it drip. Squeeze it super tight. And from that squeeze, we're going to roll just a few times in each direction. I like to go with my washing machine method for my wrist roll here. So that just means a few circles one way and a few circles back the opposite direction. We kind of bounce back and forth between those two movements, similar to how your washing machine does when it's first tumbling close. Very good boy. I've left a Nerf dart on my glass to see if he's able to pounce and attack it. If he can knock it off. Nice, good stuff. Wrist should be nice and taken care of. So that means that our whole upper body, as far as our arms, chest, and neck goes, is good. Now, let's move into our torso just a little bit more, starting with a slightly wider stance now. So I was at maybe shoulders width, now I'm at about 2 times that, and I'm going to twist carefully and controlled through this range of motion here. Where I get to the end of my twist, I'm going to come all the way back, making it a slow, controlled twist, where I'm really focusing on the contraction of my core, right? I'm squeezing through my hips, and I'm turning just a little bit. Then I'm turning through my abdomen, squeezing my back over here, drawing my upper chest and shoulders into the turn, finishing by putting a little bit of squeeze in with my arms, and coming back, absolutely not using any momentum whatsoever, trying to kind of, again, contract each series of muscles as we get to the end point of our ability to turn, and then squeeze them and come back just like that. So a little through the hip, a little through the lower, through the mid, through the upper, chest, shoulders, and arms, and all the way back, slowly unwinding in. A little turn through the hip, a little bit of lower, mid torso, upper torso, shoulders, arms. Nice, just like that. Very good stuff. So we took it slow, really contracted all those muscles, forcing those muscles, squeezing through those muscles, drawing a bunch of blood flow through there to mobilize the spine. We're going to do our momentum twist. So keep that nice wide, about 2 or 2.25 your shoulder width, wide stance, and momentum twist by driving through with the arm and looking again where you twist. Woo! All right. I know my torso is feeling a little bit warmer now. We're going to move to the bottom of the torso and where the spine grabs a hold of the pelvis, that pelvic bowl. We're going to do a few hip circles. We're going to try and isolate as much of the spine as possible. Now, if you want to, you can widen your straddle even more. I like to try not to do a split. It's not too far down. The goal is just wide enough that you feel slight stretch here in the hip, and then from that point, isolate the spine and really tilt the pelvis so you're getting both your hip and the very bottom of your spine with this mobility stretch warm up. However you prefer to think about this movement that we're doing. Because more often than not, people will do stuff similar to this post-workout as well, and we'll refer to it as a stretch or a cool-down stretch. That's okay. So we are, again, just getting started, just warming up the body though. We do have a few weighted lifts that we're going to do today. Nothing too much. We're going to start with a few light body weight lifts. So those are going to be probably the most intense part of today's workout as far as that goes, in the sense of lifting weight. But by the time we get to the end of our series, your arms are going to feel not just a lot of burn, but some nice toning if you were to continue this type of workout. Nice. I have switched to my opposite hip roll. You guys should make sure that you've done so as well. Very good stuff. Knee circles as well. So bring those feet together, squat down, hands on the knees, and circle those knees. What a crazy cat. He's very excited. Today is his birthday. He got wet food and catnip with his breakfast. Very excited boy. And make sure you roll those knees both directions. Nice, very good job. Go ahead and stand up, shake it out. We're going to do just a few of our ankle mobilities by turning the foot into the blade, lifting the big toe up off the ground, lifting onto the blade of our foot. And we're going to do just a few more of that, then switch over to a normal calf raise, lifting the heel straight up off the ground, really pressing the ball of the toe in. The higher you can lift the heel, the more advantageous that you are really going to be in doing this. Nice deep breathing. Good. Plant the heels, lift the toes up a little bit. All right. I hope we are all ready. We're going to get just a very light jog going. Feet together. Jog just ever so slightly. What a kook. He's an absolute monster, that one. Nice, very light jog. Keep it going. Just enough to kind of draw that blood down through the body again. Our mobility helps, but really activating the muscle a little bit more explosively forces more blood flow, right? A longer extended series of movement, like jogging, kind of kicks up the heart rate a little bit, helps us to, again, increase that blood flow. That helps to warm up those muscles in the body, get them nice and ready. We're going to stop the jog. We're going to stand nice and wide, just like that, very, very wide. We're going to bend at the hip into a 90-degree bend and let our arms dangle straight down under us. Put our head into a neutral position. I'm going to turn my body so you can see that posture. Everyone should do like this. And we're just going to raise our arms up, just like that, straight as they can, just like that. Kind of dropping the arm, but not letting it fall, just setting it down more accurately, right? So we're going to set the arm down, lift the arm up, try and stay in control of that movement as best as possible the whole time. Good. Now from there, we're going to go hands to the floor. We're going to keep our feet there. We're going to make our body kind of like a tent, almost a downward dog position, like so. And just like that, we're going to take one leg into the air, straight as we can, get to the point that we can no longer lift it, and do a few heel drives in. Then switch. Hold your extension. Heel drives in. Just a few. And down. Nice strong downward dog. We're going to do just a few dips, pushing up through the arms, dipping down and pushing up. Just like that, guys. Just a few. All right. Go on ahead and stand yourselves on up. Shake it out a little bit. Take a nice deep breath like we discussed before. Deep in through the nose and out through the mouth. Go ahead. In. And out. And we're going to get a quick sip of water. Very good stuff for your warm-up and mobility, guys. Good job. So. All right, so I got my water, I got my cat, happy birthday, thank you, and I'm ready to go ahead and get my chest and my arms going. Now, we're going to, again, have light-weighted bag. Got maybe 10 to 15 pounds in there, in canned goods, and a jacket to help hold them all together. Separately, I have a broomstick, which we're going to use for the first part of today's workout, and additionally, I'm going to need surface where I can kind of elevate myself. So I'm going to grab my chair, actually. I'm going to use that for either my hands or my feet, depending on what level of difficulty I find myself, looking for. So I'm going to have that just right there. So now, the idea here is we're going to start with a few push-ups and pull-ups. Now we don't have to do actual pull-ups for us to start triggering a lot of those workout points. And so that's what the broomstick is going to come in handy for. We're actually going to start the workout laying down with the broomstick in our arms, just at the base of wherever we're going to be putting our hands for our push-up or our feet for our push-up, either way. So I'm going to go on ahead and lay down nice and flat, have my space cleared. I'm going to grab a hold of my broomstick, and now from here, I should be able to extend. If I'm bumping into my chair, I'm a little bit too close. So, there, now I'm extended, but I'm still bumping. So a little bit more, perfect, good, nice extension, no bumping. Now, I'm going to do my pull-up, quote-unquote pull-up, by taking the broomstick and keeping my head, chest lifted. I'm going to pull that in to touch my chest. And now you guys can see I'm also kind of squeezing through my glutes and through my hamstrings and my quads, kind of locking my legs into a extended toes pointed position. And I'm going to do my pull-ups just like that by squeezing through my back, activating my chest, my biceps, my triceps a little bit. Definitely in there on my neck with my traps. Just trying to get those little bits of warm-up going. And a few of these is all it takes to really start feeling the workout in those muscle groups where it's active. And there's no weight on this at all whatsoever. Right? Good. Now, we understand our pull-ups. We're going to go ahead and pick ourselves up. Go either hands on top for easy with our push-ups or whatever it is that we may consider if we need to, like our starting push-up. Hands on top of elevated surface, or hands at normal right here for your standard push-up. Or if we need it, we can go feet on top to challenge ourselves, right? The higher your feet, the more challenging your push-up's going to be. So we're going to do a few of those push-ups with a very wide set, just like that, okay? So I'm even up here on the arms of my chair. It's a little bit higher up than down here. So I have options on how easy to normal to more challenging I can make that workout for myself by putting my feet even higher. So guys, we're going to go ahead and jump into those push-ups. So that way I can continue to talk through. I'm going to stick to a fairly easy thing that I can kind of moderate a little bit better. Keep that body nice and strong and straight. Chest is up. Hips are down in a squared position with the spine. As we do our push-ups, wider hand grip is our focus right now. So we get that big extension on the chest when we do those push-ups. So keep that wide grip, keep doing those push-ups, elevated, neutral, or otherwise, and just go into that wide set just like that. Very nice stuff, guys. Now, we're going to go ahead and flip over, give those push-ups a quick rest. We're going to switch over to our third part of this workout. That's going to be our dips. Now, I did say it was push-ups and pull-ups. Didn't talk about dips, but oh well, they're in there. So, promise you, I have it written out. Now, hands are going to go onto our seated space, whether it's here on the seat of the chair or it's here on the armrest. Now, I prefer something that's a little bit higher, so that I can get my dip a little bit lower. So if I'm here, down nice and low on the seat of my chair, when I dip, sometimes I bottom out depending on how low my chair is. Now, if I use my armrest, I can get a significantly better dip for myself out of my chair. And now if you guys can see, take that as the example, that is our dip. That's what we're doing. Now we're really using a lot of the tricep, using a lot of the tricep to hold ourselves up in that extended locked position. And then again, to that extended position, we're pushing through that tricep to straighten the elbow out, right? And so really think about that extension in the arm on the push on the lift up. So let's get a few of those dips going. If you have not already. If you have, you're great. I appreciate it. I love you. Good job. Good. And go ahead and shake the arms out. We're going to take a brief rest. So for those of you that were really hitting it and going, very good job. If you guys are following along, slowing down, listening to me, great. This next set is going to be those 3 movements put together a little bit more quickly. And so that's kind of why we have them all sort of strung up next to each other, so that way we can jump from one move to the next to the next. And with a little bit less of an explanation this next set. So let's deep breath in before we get started on our pull-ups, right? Go on ahead and get yourself down and ready. Make sure you lay down appropriately. Have your room, and go. Now you guys can widen your grip on your pull-up, careful, or you can narrow your grip on your pull-up, making that a whole lot harder to really slide those hands in there. I like to keep it neutral, keep my fist and my hand about at my shoulder. But those wides are always a fun one. Keep the chin up. Just a few more. Our next one is those push-ups. Get ready. Get set. Rest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push-ups. Go. Again, keep that wide set on the push-up. Just a few more. Rest. 5, 4. Remember, we got dips. 3, 2, 1. Into that seated area. Hands are back. Up. Go. Dip. Come on, guys, just a few more. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Woo! You guys can see I'm doing my push-ups at the elevated point. Wide grip on the pull-up. And though I am slightly more elevated on my dip, just trying to get more range of motion. I'm not really pushing myself for a super hard workout. Pushing myself for one where I can get kind of a bunch of reps in. Feels a little bit like cardio. Pushing ourselves, kind of keeping our pace going. Let's take another deep breath here before we do one last set of these movements. Get a sip of water. Get ready to start really hitting that bag. So nice deep breath. And out. Get down and ready. Alright, perfect. Set. Go. Nice job, everyone. Just a few more. Keep those pull-ups going. Try not to drag on the floor. Keep that bar floating. Keep your hand floating. Keep your feet floating. Set it down. 5, 4, 3. Push-ups. In 2, 1. Up. Go. Just a few more. 3, 2, 1. Let's take a seat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And last set, dips. Up and go. Come on, guys. We got it. Don't worry, I feel the burn too. Slowing down my swivel chair is getting hard to control. Come on, guys, just a few more. 3, 2, 1. Well, I am sure you're feeling like, it's probably enough of a workout. I think I'm good. I'm good. Probably do the dishes now. Don't stop. Not yet, we're not done. But take a brief pause and go get a sip of water, my guys. I'm thirsty. I need it. So, there's some water. I'm sure you can see it. Alright. Okay, so, let's talk about the backpack real quick. So, for the weighted workouts, I've mentioned it a couple times. I've used my broomstick, very good job, thanks, super helpful, I commend you. Marie Kondo says I should thank you. Get out of here. Alright, perfect. Backpack time. Woo! I've got a jacket inside of my backpack that is wrapped up with all sorts of those canned goods inside of it. Now, that's so that way it doesn't accidentally smack into me and it hurts, because it's not just nothing in there. The other thing, I have tightened the straps as much as possible and tied that excess hanging strap out of the way. I can even actually use it kind of as a handle now, and that's super helpful. We'll end up using maybe some of that later on, but it is practical. So make sure that you tie that up out of the way. And the last thing is, if you really like the backpack, you can probably go find it in our shop on our website and buy it. You're on your mobile device, you can just pull it up right now. But don't worry about that. So we got about 15 pounds in here. I'm being like generous on that. So I've got about 15 pounds in there just to get started with my first few lifts, cleared my space, and we're gonna go ahead and grab the straps just like that for the first one, keeping my fists nice and strong, wrapped around it, but more importantly, keeping my wrists nice and strong, not letting my wrist fall limp, fall weak, holding it up. So now, go on ahead and hold that weight up in towards your chest. We're going to press straight out till our arms are out straight, like a table, pretty much, right? And then we're just going to go ahead and bring it straight in. So we're just going to do straight up a chest press. That's it. Just a few of those. Nice and slow and controlled though. It's not a whole lot of weight, so it's really important that we exaggerate our form and our reach, that we're making sure that we get our muscle through that full range of motion. Right now, being able to do what we're doing with a fairly light weight for a higher number of reps is going to help us to create some muscle toning. So when summer does finally come around, when we can go hit the beach, we get them summer bods nice and strong, nice and ready. Because for us, currently looks like we're going to be inside for a little bit longer. But the goal is here just to keep ourselves healthy and fit, presentable for ourselves. So, nice. Just a few more of those chest press, those forward extended chest press. Just a few, just two more. 1, 2. Very good stuff. Now, hands are going to go down, just continuing to hold that backpack there by the straps. We're going to do just a few weighted shrugs. So really, like we did at the start of class, pull those shoulders up to the point where they're nearly touching your earlobe, right? We want this connection. Now, the other thing that we want is to not just lift the shoulder and the socket, but I'm lifting a lot of the back and the shoulder blade as well. So lift all of that for your shrug. Don't drop your head down, but lift all of that up to that point. So go on ahead and get in there with those shrugs. Keep your head in good posture. Keep your breathing strong. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm not just dropping out of the shrug. I am setting it down. Last thing I want is to shake up all my canned soups or canned goods and have them burst inside my really sick Firestorm backpack. So I'm not going to let that happen. Instead, I'm going to stay controlled. Appreciate my backpack, the fact that it's helping me to pull off some workout right now, because I don't need it to go to school, because, well, I'm not going to school because school's shut down, and I'm also not in school. Too old for that. But, anyway. Good. All right. Nice. Good shrugs. Very good stuff. I'm enjoying this burn that I'm getting in my upper half. Now, we're going to move into an overhead press. So what I want you guys to do is talk about that handle that you may have there earlier. This may help you, this may feel a little bit more comfortable, or actually grabbing onto the bag itself may feel more comfortable for you, but we're just gonna kind of wear it like a hat almost. You guys push it up overhead, where we're gonna bring it down, in theory, to our chest. I'm not gonna bring it down onto my head, because if my weight does slip, that's gonna be a very bad time. Now, I don't want my posture to fall apart. I don't wanna be like this, moving my body, breaking my posture. So I just kind of slightly press my chest forward and pull my chin and head slightly back out of the way for my press, for my overhead press. You need to take a second, readjust your grip. I understand we're not really holding on to a conventional thing for workout right now, so make that adjustment as you need to and keep that workout nice and strong. And again, slow and controlled on both halves of that movement, right? I'm pushing that bag up slow, really pressing it up, not just throwing it up, and then bringing it down out of the way a little bit into my chest, right? Slow, controlled movement, so that way I know I'm getting a good burn. Even though this is a lightweight, I can still get an effective workout, burn plenty of calories, make plenty of room for, lunch or dinner, whatever it is that you guys have cooking up. So just a few more of those overhead presses. And rest. Nice. We're going to rest, quote unquote rest, by doing those shrugs again. So we're going to kind of go in and out of those forward presses and the shrugs and the overhead press and the shrug. We're going to kind of circulate through those movements just like so. So go ahead and get a nice tight grip on that bag and shrug just a few more times. And if you guessed it, we're going to do a few sets of this. That's right. Don't forget, full lift on that shrug. I'm not just halfway lifting. Full lift. Good, and we're going to rest by just kind of catching your breath for a moment before we move into that forward press. And one more nice big deep breath. That's the end of a full circuit. So forward press shrugs, then overhead press shrugs. Artemis, can I help you? No? Perfect. All right. Ready? Forward press. Go. Try and keep it out. Slow, controlled movement. Try not to let it drop down. This is not our goal here. We're also not trying to overcompensate and push up. That's a separate workout for Liv. But we're just going to keep it going right here, that forward press. Try and keep it level. Not letting the bag slam into my body, and especially because if I pull it in like that and it drops, that's not a good time. So control that movement, control that all the way out, control it all the way in. Just a few more. Good. Down, shrugs, go. Maybe you guys noticed that this series of shrugs is a little bit slower, or maybe not as tall, can't lift as much, your potential is kind of fading. That's okay. It's kind of the goal. keeping the muscles active in a series of, constant movement. Tell them, Artemis.
Your potential is fading.
Yeah, man. When you start getting tired, you're like, when you can't lift any higher, that your potential, your ability to press, to lift, to go, your potential
Gotcha.
is exhausting.
Here you go.
All right, nice. Speaking of exhausting, I know it's getting there. So we're going to go ahead and finish those shrugs and start with our overhead press. Or again, you can readjust the bag and the grip as you need to, and try not to waste too much time in doing so, and jump right on back into it. Nice. Come on, you guys got it. Stay strong. Just a few more. 3, 2, 1. Go for the rest. And don't forget, resting is shrugs. All right. Trust and believe. I am feeling the burn. I'm sure you guys can see it. I notice it as I double check my form. Look at the peak of my lift and I go, well, that's not where I was when I started. That's more like it. But it takes so much more effort to get to that peak now. It's because so much of that extended range of muscle is tired. All those muscles. We use a lot of the middle of our range very often. But the extended range of muscle, where it's at the very bottom or at the very peak, we fail to really use those in our day-to-day life. So if I was doing a pull-up or a curl, at the weight at the very end over there, it's harder to move. Once I get it started though, it's a little easier to move because I'm not at my extended range. Guys, go ahead and give those shrugs a rest. At shrug, we get that extended range up there. And so the same way that it's harder to do the curl up there, it is harder to do that shrug up top. Similarly to the curl, if we're in here, we have a lot of control. But if I had to push something from in here, push it out, once I got to about here, it becomes more manageable. I can get behind it a little. But if I can't get behind it, weight's hard to manage. So being able to manage your weight intelligently is important. Thank you, bag. Go ahead and take an actual rest. A few nice deep breaths. If you want to take advantage of this opportunity and get yourself a quick sip of water, you can. I'm going to stay right here, just do a few more deep breaths. Very nice. So hopefully that was enough time for you to catch your breath and to kind of get a little bit of the blood flowing back into your arms. We didn't set that weight down for quite a while. We held on to it that whole time we were doing the workout, and that's a good thing. That's our goal, is to really stay engaged for as much of this hour as possible. Now, finishing up that little bit of breathing. If you guys did get water, make sure that you finish that all the way thoroughly. We're going to come back to that weighted bag again, doing just a few more workouts with it. That's right, we're not done yet. It's going to be a good time, I promise. Well, I mean, it may not feel like it, but I promise it's going to be a good time. Now, we are going to do a few tricep extensions. Now, we did do our tricep dip, where we were pushing here. A tricep extension is essentially the opposite side of that movement, where my tricep is folded up and tucked up in this back bended position, similar to how it's folded up and tucked up when it's here. But now, instead of pushing down, I am, from that bended position, pushing up. So it'll feel kind of like our overhead press did, but you guys will know my arms are in front of my body here, in front of my head, and in my tricep extension, I'm going to be keeping everything back behind my head. So for your weight, if it's getting heavy, you're getting tired, great, good, you're supposed to. If you really need to, reach into your bag of tricks, pull a can out, set it on the counter. You can slowly make your bag lighter so that you can get to the end of the workout with still getting that sense of accomplishment. But at the end of the day, you're gonna have to take all those cans out. So no, if you take a can out now, you just save yourself some work later. It's no hard problem. Now, go ahead and grab that bag. I'm grabbing it crisscross applesauce with my arms like so I can just kind of swing around to this reverse grip position where I'm holding it behind my head, like I said. Now, to do that, I didn't have to lift the bag over my head. That's an important part of this. There's no point where I'm really lifting that weight over my head. In fact, that weight is kind of back behind me. So if something did happen, if I slipped, oh no, I'm not gonna let that weight drop on my noggin. So, again, grab that. I've grabbed it crisscross applesauce so I can swing it around my back like I was gonna put my bag on, but instead, I'm gonna stop, hold my bag there instead. Now I'm ready for my tricep extensions, kind of keeping my hands in close, my elbows out in front. I'm gonna push up, just like that. And now I'm trying to use my arms in their extension to even keep the weight off the back of my head, because that wouldn't be a good time. So now I'm here, and that's how narrow my shrug is. It's enough to keep the weight off of me. Try and keep the elbows in front, push up, and back down for our tricep extensions. Just a few of those, guys, go for it. Slow and controlled so you don't accidentally hurt yourself by smacking yourself in the back of the head by that weight. Oh, that'd be a very bad time. It's part of the reason why we threw that sweater in there earlier today when we first made our bag. Just a few more of those extensions. Come on, guys, just a few more. 3, 2, 1. Good. Go ahead and take that bag off for a second. Keep a hold of it. Don't drop it. Woo. All right. Those extensions, you should feel that all across the back of your arm, a little bit in your shoulder. You may even feel a little bit of discomfort in your neck. So just go ahead and hold on to the bag. Take a nice deep breath and kind of let the weight of the bag stretch your shoulders out. Nice. Very good stuff. All right. We're going to do a few rows with the bag. So rowing. We're going to go ahead and bring ourselves into an L position. This folded almost like a pike stretch like so. Now I'm holding onto my bag. It'll probably be easier to hold onto your bag at the top and the bottom like we have before for an overhead press. And now that's what I'm going to hold. That's my starting position. That's my ending position. I'm going to hold that fold. Hold the fold and hold the bag into your chest just like so. Again, I'm not letting it drop down. I'm going to set it down. Coach, this really hurts my back. Coach, what can I do for that? Straddle your legs just a little bit. You can stand in that slight straddle. Not a whole lot of straddle, a very slight one. And do that fold and pull. This may help you if you have a very tight lower back or if the back of your leg is straining while you're standing in that pike. If you can do this with those legs together, this is how I would prefer the workout done. Keep breathing. No, I don't want my back to round. I'm not hollowing out. I'm trying to keep my back flat, squeezing through my torso, keeping my chest up, kind of turning my hips out by using my legs and my extension, curling, keeping that back nice and strong and extended that whole time I'm doing these movements. Head in a nice neutral position. We can pull it in towards our belly here, or we can pull it up towards our chest here. That's just personal preference at this point. A few more. 3, 2, 1. Good. Set the bag down. Come out of that. Now, because that can be a little bit of straining on the lower back, the last part of this is a little bit of a twisting sort of stretch. So, just going ahead, wide stance, do a few hip circles. I like to go back and forth with these ones like a washing machine. Just kind of roll it out. And then a few twists of the spine, very light momentum twist. And then a few overhead reaches on either side. Very good stuff. Now, we're going to go on ahead, get back to that weighted bag. We have a few curls that we're going to do. We have kind of not really hit the bicep all too much. We have done quite a few things that are a little bit more towards the back of the arms. So you guys may not be feeling so much burn here since the push-ups that we did at the start. So we're going to go ahead and kind of get that muscle engaged with a few curls. Coming back to our weighted bag. I'm going to be holding on to it just like so, right at the top of the straps where they grab the bag. I'm standing at a slight straddle here, about 1.5 my shoulder width. I'm not going to let the bag flop or flail. My goal is really to control that, especially in this portion of the workout, as I keep my elbows pinned to my body and I keep my wrists turned strong. I'm not just kind of letting my hands rest, not lifting the back of my hand to the sky. Instead, I'm turning my hand like I'm pointing my thumbs up. And I'm lifting a big old thumbs up. Yeah, super cool. Big old thumbs up. And who's cool? I am. And that's kind of the greatest way that you guys can follow that strong wrist for your curl when you guys are doing these hammer hand curls. So hammer grip curls rather. So nice tight grip and curl yourself in. Just a few nice controlled curls. The elbows may bless you. The elbows won't bless you. I will. The elbows may curl or come off of the body a little bit at any point during the workout. Our goal is really to keep them in. When I lift up and I pull my hand towards my chest a little bit more, I know that they come off a little bit here, but I'm really compressing, trying to get that in to the point where I've hit full extension, again where the range of motion is a little bit harder to start, and I'm coming all the way in here, or setting it down becomes a little bit easier in that middle range. So again, both for the pull and for that set down, the action is easiest right in here in this middle point. Anything past that is a little bit more challenging. So we're actually going to continue with our curls, and we're specifically going to do a few low end curls, keeping those hands low, and coming only up to about the halfway point, and then setting it back down. Just a few of those, just like that. About a half rep, if you guys can imagine. Just to kind of focus on that end range of motion. And at the end of that set down, really get back to that locked extended range of motion. Pull back in for that half rep. Just getting a little burn in the forearm, and a little bit of that in the extended bicep at the top of the forearm, and the inside of the elbow in here. Good, and we're going to go back to that full range curl, going from the very bottom all the way up to the top. Just like so. Keep it going. We've only got a few minutes and then it's time to stretch those arms out. I know you're going to be ready for it when we get there. Let's go 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Good. And we are almost done. We're actually going to go on ahead and set the bag down. We're all done with our weighted workout with the bag today. The last thing that we're going to do is go back to those wide set push-ups that we did at the start of our hour of workout, and we're just going to burn out by going from the hardest variation of the push-up that we can do, burning ourselves out by trying that as many times as possible, and then going from the hard to the easy, to the easy, to the easy, to the easy. What that really means is, at least for me, I'll be going and doing as many as I can comfortably from feet elevated to feet less elevated to feet neutral, hands, and then working my way the opposite direction on these easier push-ups. So I'm going to start, because I know my chair is wobbly, I'm going to start right here with my elevated push-ups. Everyone go ahead and get those push-ups nice and strong and ready. And just as many as you can without dying. We're trying to go essentially to the point of failure. Oh no. All right. Well, I will take that as my note so that I'm moving. Now from hard to the next level of challenge, but easy, right? Slightly easier, more normal push up. All right. Woo. Very cool. Now I'm moving my way back to the point where my hands are on the chair. Doing those few push-ups. Just kind of getting all the last bit of energy out of my arms and chest. Last level, easiest level that you feel comfortable. Okay, well, that about does it for my arms and my chest. I think that's a good workout. We did about an hour together. We love you. Very, very nice arms. So good, so clean. I'm going to do just a few stretches. Go ahead, if you guys have a wall, this is a great helpful wall for me. We're going to do a few hands up on the wall, arms and chest down. Stretch out your upper shoulders, your back, your neck a little bit. Good, step a little further away from your wall. Or, if you guys don't want to use the wall, but instead have like a chair or a couch, you'll put your hands on that, or maybe even a countertop like so. We can put our hands on that surface, feet are back further now, and similarly chest dip, stretch out the front half now. Squat the legs, bend them a little bit, get lower. You can straddle to do the same. Very good stuff. Pulling up and out of that. Very nice. Shake out the arms. We're going to pin our wrist to our back of our body here, just like that. We're going to go into a nice little butterfly squat. So we're going to squat our knees out, keep those wrists in, just like so. So now I can bring my elbows to the inside of my knees, and I can squeeze my knees towards each other, and stretch out my arms. So again, back of your hand to the side or the back of your body. Feet are towards each other a little bit, heels are in towards each other. Bend knees wide, elbows in the side, and squeeze through the legs. Very nice. Good. Go ahead, stand up, shake the arm out. I'm sure that's pretty intense. On your shoulders and your chest. Good. Interlock the wrists, roll them out. And guys, go on ahead and get yourself a sip of water. We are all done. Class is just about all complete. Strength was a very fun day today. Had a lot of cool workouts. Keep your bag of weights. I mean, you may need to take those weights and put them away or cook them for a meal later, but keep that idea in mind. Keep a bag ready for some weights, or if you guys have some weight, great, use that. I would not recommend putting sand or dirt or rocks in your bag though. It's a bad idea. So keep it sort of neat and clean if you guys can. So keep a weight with you for moving forward in the future episodes. And that broomstick, like we used earlier, is also going to be a super fun and super helpful apparatus. So guys, thank you for working out with me at home. It was a very fun time. I look forward to seeing you for our next workout stream. Our next strength will be happening on Fridays. That's right, you guessed it, 12 to 1, just like now. And today, actually, we're going to be streaming parkour from 3 to 4. So if you guys want some more workouts, come check us out for that. We're actually going to end up using our backpack for a little bit of a lower body workout in parkour today. So we'll see you guys later if you want to stream or follow us for that. Bye.